Hey folks, Cosmo Designs here, and this is part 1 of the Tamiya 135th scale Easy 8 M4 build. Now, the correct designation, of course, is the M4A3E8, but just for the ease of talking this video, we're just going to call this the M4 Easy 8 Sherman, or whichever. We'll, change the lingo as we go. Now, how I came into this one is my birthday, actually. My wife and I were watching Fury, and she asked, do I have this tank model? And I said, no, I don't. So when we were in the city there last, she went to the model store and seen this on the shelf, but she didn't quite know which one to get. So being the loving wife she is, she grabbed them both. And I'm kind of glad she did because both model kits offer different parts. So now I'm going to be able to make like a super detailed Sherman out of both kits and still, be able to take the other kit and, do something else with the Sherman. So we're going to make a super detailed Sherman out of the one there that you see on the desk there. And we're not going to do Fury. Obviously, Fury's been, done to death, so to speak. So we're going to make this our own, and I figure we'll do like an early winter scene because we haven't seen too much winter dioramas on the channel. And when I was at the model store there, sadly, they didn't have much in the way of paints. And I can't just go to the the model store down the street. If you've been following me for quite some time, I'm about 9 hours away from my local hobby shop. So I was only able to pick up a grand total of 3 sprays. I'm not too sure if it's a supply and demand thing or if they're just not getting them in or what the story is. So that's why you're seeing like another build pop up on my channel here because I'm going to have to do something because my other builds are going to be slow going. I just don't have the supplies. I don't have the paints and whatnot. So you might see those builds slow down just a little bit. And hopefully around Christmas time when I go back to visit family, they'll be stocked up again. And then those builds can continue, with more videos. So just stand by. Those aren't, they're not shelved by any means. They're just going to slow down a little bit until I can resupply. And, I'm not going to just try and mix and match paints and hope for the best. So, that's the reasoning behind that. So anyway, let's get into this. This should be a lot of fun. I know this will appeal to a lot of people, especially those who build World War II stuff, because there hasn't been much of this on the channel as far as World War II stuff, right? It's all been, post World War II, Cold War era, and modern stuff. So hopefully this will turn out. So with the Easy 8, Shermans and stuff, I'm still learning, right? Because I really like World War II kind of stuff, but it's been mostly, the air war. So going to, the army kind of stuff, which is strange because I myself was combat arms. You'd think I would build more combat arms stuff than, Air Force type stuff. But with this tank right here, I'm kind of using like the Fury movie version of the tank as a template because it kind of, right here, there's no 30 caliber. There's no 30 caliber on the Korean one. I really liked, that concept of having, more armament. So I built my own post right here for the 30 caliber, which I ordered from B&A Models. They have a 30 caliber machine gun, so I built my own post right there. So right here, this does not come with the model, so I'm just awaiting the 30 caliber machine gun to come in the mail, so I can mount it right there. So these parts right here, these are actually from my M41 Bulldog. Same with that piece right there, and then the post that was actually from one of the wheels that I cut and kind of made my own post out of that. And then this right here was just some spare parts from the M41 tank that I had. Like you got some grenades, you got canteens, and then you got a Thompson and a Grand, and then some looks like some bayonets. And then of course right here, this will be for like the mount for the 30 that'll come in, and then the 50 will go in behind it. So oddly enough, with the Easy 8s, the models that I've seen, there's no 30 calibers, at least with Tamiya option. So that's a bit odd, but whatever. This is the first time that I've seen the Easy 8 tanks available. I've been actually looking for a couple of years, and this must be a new release or something. So I'm glad. I really like the Sherman tanks. I thought they were really neat. So that's the first thing I changed, or at least not changed so much as added on, was the post for the 30. And and then of course we'll figure out if we're going to even put those in. I thought that was real cool as add-ons. So there we go. So that's the first thing that I put onto the tank as far as changing the model up a bit. And then of course I put these pieces on. I'm not really following the instructions as per normal. I'm just kind of adding stuff on, you know, as I want to, for ease of putting things on now. And then of course with the European one right there, there's no tow cable, and then the Korean one there is a tow cable. And then doing my research, World War II tanks did have the tow cable. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of back and forth on, you know, what tanks had what. So obviously World War II tanks did have the tow cable. So, you know, having the two models is going to be great. As we're like the canvas cover, I can't really find too many pictures of the World War II tanks having the canvas cover. So, you know, having, you know, this model is going to be, you know, a benefit, right? Aftermarket tracks, you know, I don't have them in yet because I ordered, you know, a ton of stuff from B&A Models. I deal with them a lot, so a lot of people ask me, you know, where do I get half my model stuff? I order from B&A. I'm not canvassing for them. I just do a lot of business with them, and I always get my stuff in a timely manner. So go with them is I guess my, you know, shout out, I guess, to them. I get nothing from them. Like, don't think I'm getting anything from them by saying their name. I just, someone left a comment, where do I get my models? I get my stuff from them. They're from Australia. So I usually pay for a little bit extra on the shipping for the registered, just so I can track my stuff. And within like 2 weeks or less, I'm in Canada. My stuff is here. So great selection. That's not where I bought these model kits. So like I said, my wife picked these up for me for my birthday, and as soon as I had these, I made my order from B&A to get my aftermarket parts. But getting back to the tracks, I ordered my aftermarket tracks just because I like to do my own, and the ones that come with this kit, which I'll show you in later videos, are the rubber tracks, and I like to do the linkage and stuff like that. And then they usually give you extra, so I can start, you know, doing, you know, the stuff around here, and maybe attaching them around the side, whatever I want, right? And that's a good thing about not copying like a movie or something. You get to do whatever you want with your model. And as I said, I want to do kind of like a winter scene, and this is the base that I'll be using. So I'll be painting this black and doing like some, you know, I'll start with like grass, and then I'll start like doing the snow and such. And these are the trees. Now I got these at Michael's. I'm not too sure. Depends on where you're watching. If you're like in the US or in Canada itself, I got these at Michael's. These are really pretty. And they're from Limax. Now I know if you're in the US, you're definitely going to be able to get these. But in Canada, I got them 2 for 1. So it cost me $20 for 2 trees. So they're Limax right there. Is the product number, I believe. So I got 4 of these bad boys, and you know, I might obviously, you know, get rid of this, just, you know, chop it off or whatever. Depends on how I want to do my grass. But they're a decent size, and they come with the frosting already attached. I mean, I suppose one could paint it or scrape the frosting off if he didn't want to use it. But I thought that would make a real cool scene, like an early winter scene. So I got 4 of those, and we'll figure out how we're going to go about doing this. And then I got some aftermarket crew figures, of course, and we'll get into that in a later video. But I figure a nice little winter scene, because I've never really done a winter scene other than my Star Wars 4-legged walker scene there. If you want to go back in the videos, it's there. But that's purely winter. This is going to be like a, you know, grass and kind of a mixture of both, and then gritty too, right? Because most of my tank models, if you go back, obviously, they're not really dirty. This one's going to be really dirty, right? This is going to be, you know, the tracks are going to be all mudded up, and, you know, this is going to be well used, so to speak. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this build as well. And then hopefully by the time, you know, Christmas rolls around, and, you this one will be well on its way, and then after the holiday season, hopefully I'll be able to replenish all my paints, and we can really get cracking on like the Yamato. I've been waiting so long on like my paints and stuff, and I've just been itching to get out my Yamato build and my B17 build. I've been working on with a company, trying to work on a book actually on how to build it and how to do the aftermarket stuff. So yeah, that's why there's been a bit of a delay on that. It's good stuff, right? Obviously, when people see what you're doing, they want to help you out, and in turn, you're helping them. So the channel's really coming along. I really thank you guys so much for all the support, and it's really coming along. So thanks so much for watching. This should be a fun build too, guys. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.